Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and pleased to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy Thursday. Oh my gosh, one more day, and then guess what? The weekend, and I am off next week, not one day, but 2 days. It's weird, because I'm off on Monday, and then I'm off on Wednesday. Ooh, okay, so yes, I decided to take Wednesday off because I hate Valentine's Day. Maybe I should make a video on that, like on Valentine's Day, it'll be an anti-Valentine's Day video. Maybe that's what I'll do. Anyways, I hope everybody had a great day and is having a great week. Last night I watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We're going to talk about it. This was a little bit of a very emotional episode for Sutton. I'm going to tell you this. I feel like this is Sutton's season because she started it off with some drama and a little bit of some kind of erratic behavior, and she ever since has been like kind of surprising me, but I am really loving seeing the emotional side of Sutton. When I say the emotional side, I mean seeing her open up about her previous marriage and just her life. I really enjoy seeing inside of her life and the struggles that she has had. So this week they are going to be scattering Merce's ashes, Merce in the purse. And so she was talking beforehand about what it means to her, and scattering his ashes is kind of like symbolic of her letting go of really 3 relationships with 3 of the most important men in her life, and that was her father, her husband, her ex-husband Christian, and Merce. She's saying that she is just letting go of this so that she can move on, and thank God she's letting go of this divorce, because honestly, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I feel like her ex-husband, Christian, was kind of an asshole. That's what it seems like to me. I mean, and she's letting go of this so she can move on, because when she was in her marriage, she had her career, but then he was like, you're going to give this up. You're going to have children, and that's it. And she pretty much gave up her power in the marriage. And then whenever things weren't going right in the marriage, I don't know if they had separated or not. There were problems in the marriage, and she was thinking that we'll go see a marriage counselor, but no. He was like, listen, you got to get a lawyer. You got to lawyer up, because I'm going to file. You're going to be getting papers tomorrow. No, like, let's try and work it out. It was, that's it. We're done. And she, once again, she had no power. She was just I don't want to say she was just a stay-at-home mom, but she didn't really have any power because he took it. And here she is having to lawyer up. So I think it's a good thing that she's moving on. She's letting go of all of this so that she can move on to the next chapter of her life. So they get to the site where they're going to scatter them. It was in another town, and it looked beautiful. It was overlooking the water. It was absolutely gorgeous. So she makes her speech. She talks, and then her and what was her friend's name? Put it in the comments. I liked him a lot. Like, I cannot remember his name. I enjoyed him immensely. And I was on, I'm still going to call it Twitter, but I was on X, Twitter. Like I said, I call it Twitter. And somebody had said on Twitter that they would like to see him have his own show on Bravo. I would watch that. I thought he was I enjoyed seeing him. I enjoyed his personality. I liked him. I can't remember his name, but I liked him. So they went to scatter the ashes, and then the wind blew it all back. Blew a whole bunch of them back, like onto the ladies' clothes. Kyle was like, I got some of it in my mouth, and all over the place. I would be a little horrified, but Crystal thought it was not Crystal. Sutton, I think, from what I understand on the after show, she thought it was kind of funny, and it was maybe like Merce's way of karma coming back for them. I don't know. She thought it was funny. I would be horrified if that was me. The ladies all then took off their necklaces, their flower necklaces, and each one of them said something that they were going to let go of and release. And then they threw their flowers in the water. And everybody's was very heartfelt and very emotional for them. Until Shady Shade McShadester, Erica gets up. And Erica's just like, I'm going to let go of the pain from the last 2 years and the pain that you bitches have inflicted on me. Now listen, you couldn't just say something nice. This is what you had to do. You had to still hold on to the fact, and this entire episode, hold on to the fact that none of these women gave you an apology for after you said this thing about, the court not taking away your earrings. This is what you're holding on to. And listen, Garcelle saw it too. Garcelle was like, listen, in her confessional, listen, we said what we said last year because we were holding a mirror up to you. We wanted you to see how you looked and what you were saying. And we wanted you to have some empathy and some sympathy and some compassion for these victims. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. Is Erica acting different this year? Yeah, this season? Yes. Gone is the Erica that was screaming last year. But listen, she has not changed her mindset. Her outward activities and how she handles it outwardly is different. On the inside, she feels no different. She has not changed. This was supposed to be a redemption tour for her. I was buying it. Like, it was supposed to be a redemption arc. I was buying it. I don't know that I'm buying it anymore. I'm just saying. A little bit later on, and they leave, and they're walking along. Crystal's walking with Erica and says, I apologize for contributing to your pain. And she says, oh, thank you. And then once again in confessional, she's like, I appreciate Crystal for apologizing. I mean, she's the only one, but I appreciate her apologizing. Don't get me started on that. Kyle FaceTimes with her daughters, with Sophia and I don't remember the other one. And so she's FaceTiming with them. And the only thing I took from this is that Kyle and Mauricio, it seems like they really haven't spoke to their daughters about what's going on, because they did do a flashback from earlier in this season. And they were talking, Mauricio and Kyle were talking about, like problems. And I believe it was, if I can't remember, Portia came in and she was like, shh, don't say anything, because she was right there. So it seems to me like they really haven't told the girls anything. They're going to have to. I mean, if this is real, and if this is not something that they're just doing for a storyline, which if it is, that's fucked up if it is. But if it is for real, they're gonna have to sit down and talk to her. I mean, I'm sure that they have, but doesn't look like on this episode that they did. So the ladies are going to be going to a flamenco dinner. They're going to have dinner at this flamenco cafe, and then they're going to get up on stage and dance. They're on their way. They're in the burner van. They're on their way to this flamenco dinner dance. And listen, I'm going to tell you, there was a text that went out that said, please wear red. And everybody got real upset because Kyle was wearing orange. I really, to be honest with you, I don't know if my rods and cones in my eyes are totally shot, but I thought it looked red. They said it was orange. I really thought her outfit looked red. Whatever. So they're on their way. They're in the burner van. They're on their way there. And talk goes to... a talk turns towards papers and like husband, papers that your husband gives you. And Garcelle basically asks, does everybody know something like, do you really know what you're signing when you get something from your husband? And Kyle says she just signs everything. Mauricio gives her something and she just immediately signs it. Because he pays the taxes, he pays the bills or whatever, so she just signs it. The very first thing that came, the very first person that popped into my head, the very first person, Teresa Giudice. I'm not wrong. Listen, she signed everything. She signed every piece of paper that Joe Giudice put in front of her. Guaranteed did not read it, just signed it. Look where it got her. I'm just saying, read it. Read it. Didn't Erica was like, you got to read that. Look where it got me. And Sutton was like, I don't care if you're married to the Pope. You read everything. You absolutely have to read everything. And if you can't understand it, then get either somebody who has a legal mind or is very smart on these things, or give it to a lawyer and have them read it and have them explain it to you. You need to know what you're signing, because once you sign it, that's just it. If some shit went down, they're going to be like, is this your signature? You're going to be like, yeah, but I didn't understand it. Oh, nope. Well, doesn't matter. Very, very, very important. So they get there to the flamenco dancing. Kyle is immediately worried because she's not drinking anymore. And thank you, baby Jesus, there are no splits in flamenco dancing, because they had to cue the beautiful bean footage of her doing the splits with her coochie mopping up the dance floor every season. Thank God she can't be doing the splits. They're sitting around the table, and the question was, what is your favorite moment from this year? And Crystal's was, or from the trip, Crystal's was when they had the paella, when they had the dinner and they had the paella making class. And because she really enjoyed seeing what went into it, how it was made, because she loves cooking. They all had, a few of them had really nice things to say. What does Erica say? Erica brings up last year's trip, not this year's trip, last year's trip. About how everybody was getting on her case about the victims. Now listen, she is saying, for everybody to hear, she's let go that she just said in the episode earlier, I'm going to let go of my old life. I'm going to let go of everything that happened with that old life. And for somebody who's letting it go, you sure are bringing it up a hell of a lot. And Anne Marie, 8.5 brought it up and did further that along. Garcelle had asked, do you feel like you can trust us? Listen, Erica strategically said no without saying no. That's just it. In my mind, that's it. Sutton, Miss Shady Sutton, she gave a toast to Erica. She toasted Erica, and she said, even though not everyone got an invitation to your show, congratulations. And then they did a flashback to the season where when she was on Broadway in Chicago. Who chartered a PJ, a private jet, as Lala Kent says? Who chartered a PJ? That was Miss Sutton Strack. She chartered a PJ to go up to go over, across the country to see Erica on Broadway in Chicago. Even though Erica's a bitch to her, she did that. But you couldn't just give an invitation. You couldn't give an invitation to your $7 Groupon residency show. Come on, get the fuck out of town, please. Okay, so the ladies get back to LA. Dorit visits Kyle, and Kyle says, listen, I've been seeing a therapist, been talking about our marriage. Mo joined in. He's been going to the sessions. She basically had said that they don't fight and they really don't talk about things. They just bottle them up. Like that's Mauricio appears to be a big fan of that. Like, I'm just going to bottle everything up. We're not going to fight about it. We're not going to talk about it. It's just going to be there. She said that Mo thinks that time is going to make it better. Like, you just ignore it. It's just going to go away and it'll make it just better for her. But she said, that's not going to work. We need real help. And it seems like he's putting all of his energy into his work, into the agency. So he's basically making his job the priority over her and over his marriage. And she basically had said, listen, if he can't put an effort into our marriage, then I don't think we're going to make it. And that's just how it is. I mean, that's sad. That's sad. I'm hoping that this is not something that, I'm hoping that they didn't just do this. They didn't just do this as like some kind of a storyline on the show. I mean, it seems to me like they're having problems. It's when I first heard about it, it is shocking. But I'm going to tell you, these rumors have been out there. These rumors of Mauricio's infidelity, they've been out there for a while. Like, for as long as I can remember on the show, I've always read things on social media where there was like not just one or two stories, but like multiple stories of him cheating. So I don't know. And the reunion is, did it already tape? I don't think it taped already. They did put the seating chart out. And the first seats, like the closest next to Andy, is Kyle and Sutton. Because it's Sutton, Garcelle, and Dorit. And then I believe it's like 8.5. And then it's either, I don't remember if it's 8.5 and then Erica or 8.5 and Dorit. I'm not quite sure. But the two first seats are Kyle and Dorit. So it's gonna be interesting to hear what she has to say about the state of her marriage now. Also, it's going to be interesting to see what she says about Morgan, because Kyle had went out there on social media and they asked why did Morgan take everything down regarding you? And she said, well, that's what, she said something like, well, that's what creative people do. That's what musicians do. Okay. I'm telling you what I think that was. That right there was Kyle using her for storyline, and that was Morgan using Kyle to further her career. That's what that was. Point blank. You can't tell me any differently. That's what that was. So if you watched last night, let me know in the comments what you thought. And I will see you tomorrow with, I think I'm probably going to do a video talking about some pop culture things. Talking a little bit about Justin Timberlake, Taylor Swift, and King Charles and his cancer diagnosis. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow, because if you know me, I love pop culture. I love all things pop culture. I love talking about pop culture. So with that being said, if nobody told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, positivity, and understanding out there. Please take care of one another. Also, I always say it, please make sure that number one, you are aware of your surroundings. Number two, you stay safe, be careful, be safe, and stay safe. And also, listen, cross your fingers, toes, legs. You can't cross your toes, cross your legs, cross your arms, cross your heart, cross your fingers. That this video doesn't take super long to load like it did the other day. So with that being said, I will see you tomorrow on Fantastic Friday. Bye, guys.